The day has finally came where I can talk about the book series that healed me, got me in love with reading. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go through all the books. We're gonna go through everything. I'm gonna blab your ear off. I'm gonna do, if you haven't read this book series, if you haven't or are wanting to, or you heard so much about it, I'm gonna tell you some details. I'm gonna give you some quotes. I'm gonna yap your ear off about this book series and everything. So let's go, guys. Oh my gosh, let's go. We got the first book that started it all, the book of Nesta. Not Nesta, sorry, I've been talking about Nesta. I recently finished Silver Flame, and oh my gosh, we're gonna get to Nesta here soon, but I'm gonna blab your ear off about Farah. I love Farah so much. Farah's the type of person that I not want to be, but the type of person I want to be around. Nesta's so, also Elaine is her sister, but Nesta is such a beautiful character. Her personality, everything she goes through, how she visions things, and her mindset and everything, I love her so much. I not yearn, but the type of person she is, she's the type of person that you just want to be around, the type of person you would look up to, the type of person you would go for information and things like that. She is such a beautiful character. Oh my gosh, Farah, I went in here meeting okay, this sounds so stupid, but if you don't understand reading, then you're gonna just you have to read and understand. When I first read it, I was like, okay, in the very beginning, first few pages, I'm like, where is this gonna go? I went in here kind of blindsided. I heard a lot about it. I heard good things, but a lot of bad things. But I'm like, I want to read it. I want to know what happens. I heard it's romancy. That's what it's called, romancy. And going in here in the first few pages, I'm like, where is this gonna go? Where am I going to end up? Where are we going to end up? And when I love it. This book, if you haven't watched my first video first video of my book and everything, book wrap up, you will see me talk about how this book series got my imagination back and got my love for reading especially, and has risen my standards so much. And it also reminded me of who the woman I wanted to be. When I was a little girl, I'm like, I'm gonna be this woman. This book, it doesn't sound so stupid, but it's true. This book reminded me of why I'm growing, why I am pushing myself more to become a better woman, to become a better person in general. Why this, why that. And my likes and everything, which I had likes for archery, had likes for painting, had likes for books. I connected so much with Farah's sisters and everyone, with training for painting, for baking like Elaine, and for book reading like Nesta, and archery like Farah and everything, which reminded me of who I wanted to be and why I'm doing this because of that. So Farah is a 19-year-old girl. She is trying to feed her family. Her mother died. Her father got injured and is just not in the mindset. I'm gonna speak well about him because in the third book you understand more about him and why he did those things in a way. And he is not in the mindset. He's also injured and everything. And yeah, so, and also too, Farah's sister Elaine and Nesta are not in the right mindset either. Nesta has her problems, Elaine has hers, and Farah has her own, and they're all trying to figure out on their own. And they're both young. All three of them are pretty much set out to find marriage, except for Farah, not really, but Elaine especially is in arranged marriage. Nesta is planning on to, in a way. You hear more about that in the second book. But yeah, she meets Tamlin. I don't know if this is a lot of, I don't know, but I don't know if it's a lot of spoiling. She meets Tamlin. Tamlin takes her for reasons, for killing a wolf. I'm gonna say it, for killing a wolf, and she goes into a whole different world, but is like 5 miles down the road. It's over the wall, and Praetheon, I'm pretty sure how you say their land. I always said it Praetheon or something like that. You go into their world and different courts and different people, powers and everything, and she meets Tamlin. She's meeting this new world. He's kind of taking her captive in a way, but showing her around the castle, letting her eat, dressing fine wine, exploring the spring court and everything. And Tamlin is in everyone is under another woman's powers for 50 years, and it's the 49th year, and he's stressed out. He doesn't know what to do, but he's also falling in love with Farah. And then he tells Farah to go back home. You're not needed here anymore. I don't want you in trouble, because he's falling in love with Farah. And sorry, I'm gonna move you guys a bit. He's falling in love with Farah, and yeah, she goes home. She finds out that Tamlin actually paid off their father's debt, got him back into his boat business and traveling the world and selling spices to all around the world and making money again. And they got into a big grand house. Elaine's happy. Nesta is still the same. Nesta's still the same but confused. But Farah was just like, something's not right. Like, she didn't feel like she belonged there anymore either. But she also wanted to save Tamlin. So she goes back, she goes under the mountain, she saves everyone, and she also turns into a fairy, kinda half-breed fairy. And she gets a lot of new powers and everything, and that's when we go into the second book, A Court of Mist and Fury, which I love so much. But oh my gosh, from the very beginning, I hated Tamlin. From the very beginning, I didn't understand Tamlin. I felt like something was off. Like I even said in my first video, not just his looks, but something was off. But I was like, something's really off. And also to Nesta, when Farah, I've been talking about Nesta so much, when Farah gets back to Spring Court and she's getting her new power, she's also getting a lot of bad nightmares, which I will say soon, which is really cute. I think it's a quote. It's kind of a spoiler, but I wanted to encourage anyone who hasn't read the series yet to read it. But she is getting a lot of nightmares, even sexual nightmares, and trying to figure out new things, but Tamlin's not letting her explore her powers, and she's getting really angry in all things. But also too, when she was under the mountain, she made a bargain with the one and only Rhysand. Oh my gosh, the one and only Rhysand. Rhysand is, I don't know, I need the 6th and 7th book to come out of the ACOTAR series, because I want to know so much more about Azriel. I love Azriel, but I feel like it's Azriel or Rhysand. I love Cassian, bro. I love Cassian so much, but he's not for me. But anywho, Rhysand has risen my standards so much. He is like the reason why I fell in love with fictional men, but also made me fall in love with love again, if that makes sense. But anywho, Rhysand made a bargain with Nesta when she was under the mountain, saving Tamlin and everyone else in the court, which she does, by the way. I forgot to say that. She saves everyone from under the mountain. Everyone can go back to their court. No one has authority over them really anymore. Everyone can go back to how they were living their lives 49 years ago, in fairy years, obviously. And 49 years, but for them it's fairy years as well. But she has to go to Rhysand's court every week, 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, but she goes to his court for the bargain and everything. But also to he is teaching her how to read because when she was under the mountain, she was struggling reading and everything. It was okay. That was hilarious. I never got secondhand embarrassment from a book, but it was also hilarious at the same time. Um, but anywho, he's teaching her how to read. She's also like telling her like kind of like, hey, you have powers, so why don't you start like using them, right? But then every time Rhysand will come back home to Spring Court, Tamlin would like interview her and like all the things, and it just didn't feel right now, which I was right. And basically, Tamlin becomes a lot more manipulative, and I'm not gonna speak rough about him. He's I don't know. I have really mixed feelings about what Tamlin deserves and everything, because it's not his fault but also his fault, but we'll go more into that later. But anywho, basically Fair runs away because Tamlin traps her in his castle and everything. So she is like freaking out because she doesn't like that. That makes her uncomfortable, and also too the nightmares she was having and everything. So Rhysand and Morgan, or Moore, who is Rhys's cousin, they come and save her, take her to their court, and she learns more and more and more. She is training, she's learning her powers and everything. And then we see the relationship growing not very slowly, but slowly. It's so like on and off because she doesn't want to fall in love with Rhysand because she still in a way cares for Tamlin, but Rhysand, it was not pushing her, but he always told her like, you deserve way more better than Tamlin. You don't deserve to go back into that home where he trapped you, where he tricked you in a way. He never told you the truth and everything, never let you experience your true powers. And then they grow close. She grows closer to everyone in his family, Asriel and Cassian, Moore, Amarin. Amarin's crazy and everything, and she's saving people from a war and conflict. And then we get to see the relationship finally in kind of in the middle. Chapter 54 will be my favorite, and also chapter 45 as well, was just Starlight, where she got to see all the stars, and it's so beautiful because they were laughing and smiling, and you can tell in that chapter that they were falling in love for each other, even though Rhysand was already in love with her and everything. And so we got to see them, and then we got to see chapter 54, where he explains everything, and seeing everything he goes through and letting him take all the hurt and not letting his family and everyone he loves take that pain. And even then, after all that trauma and excuse me for my wording, even rape he goes through, he still never felt like he was enough for everyone he loved and everything, and he felt like he could have saved them more and protected them more, and he could have done more. And throughout the book series, throughout the second one, third one, and even fourth one, you can see them that they were still trying to remind him that he is enough, he's done enough for them, and all the things. So you get to see him explain everything, and how he always had dreams of Farah in a way, but he never understood what it was and when they finally met for the first time, he was like really connected with her. And then at the end of Thrones and Roses, you can see that he vanishes really quickly, and she was left confused, which in reality he went back to the night court, unannounced, unknown, no one knows, and he is crying to Morgan, saying, she's my mate, crying his eyes out, even though he hasn't seen his family in like almost 50 years. And you can see how deep and beautiful their relationship in, especially in the third one. But I need to finish Mist and Fury real quick. And then, so at the end of Mist and Fury, you could see her sisters being kidnapped, especially in her sleep. That's where Nesta, we don't see much of Elaine at all, which I really hope we do in the next books that are coming out soon, about Nesta and how her trauma got more deeper and everything. And I don't have much notes of these 4 books, which I'm sorry about how I felt. Silver Flame, I have a lot more notes about and how I feel about them, but I'm going to go more raw about how I feel about these books. But we get to see Nesta and Elaine, how they got kidnapped in their sleep and then turned into fairies without them wanting to, and go through so much hurt and not wanting to do this. And Elaine is going to get married. She had her whole life planned out, but she is getting forced to become someone she isn't. And even her fiance hates fairies. So we get to see a lot more pain, especially in the 3rd one. Give me a minute. So you get to see a lot more pain and everything in the 3rd one. But then we have, which I have a theory about, I have a few theories about a few things. I think Tamlin and Amarithina. Wait, what's that one bad girl's name? I'm gonna put it on the screen. I don't remember. Amarthurina or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna search and show her name and everything. But I feel like her and Tamlin are mates, or because she specifically told Tamlin under the mountain stay by him, which I feel like that was weird. Or I think Elaine. Honestly, I think a lot of things about Elaine and Azriel. I feel like I feel like them are going to be in the next book. But I don't know, but also Gwen. But I deeply feel like Tamlin and Elaine are mates in reality, because you see Elaine, she's really into gardening and nature, and especially spring. Her personality, how she dresses, everything about her, it screams spring. She's so loving and kind and gentle, but she loves spring. She loves baking. She loves gardening. That's one of her hobbies, gardening. But you can see that when Elaine comes out of the water, when she turned into a fairy and everything, you can see that Tamlin was opened his eyes and was confused. But then you see Lucian, I can't remember, come and was like, "You're my mate," as in, like, I feel like they are actually mates. I don't think Elaine and Lucian are actually mates. I think Tamlin and Elaine are actually mates, but I don't know what's going to happen, because part of me in the next few books, I feel like the next 2 books are coming out, I feel like Elaine is going to take over the Spring of Courts. She's going to become the High Fairy there, or she's going to fall in love with Azriel more. And if not, Elaine is going to become the High Lady of Spring Court, and Azriel and Gwen are going to fall in love. Those are my theories, but I just think that maybe Tamlin and whatever her name is are mates. But anywho, we're going to go into Wings and Ruin, which is the 3rd book. Oh my gosh. Okay. When reading this book, especially when you're not really I love Wings and Ruin is more emotionally attached to, especially when you know all the characters, and it feels like more deeper in a way. So, also too, I forgot. So because this is kind of important, at the end, Farah goes back with Tamlin. And so in the beginning of Wings and Ruin, you can see she goes and she's with Tamlin. She's trying to play her role and everything, and Lucian is with her. And then so since Farah's got into all the war and conflict and everything, Tamlin finally lets her semi-join into conflict with his court and everything, and building the wall, rebuilding, I'm pretty sure, the wall or something like that. I can't remember, but they're near the wall and everything. No, wait. Never mind. That's not the part. Scratch that. So she is finally in with the trouble and everything in Tamlin's court and everything. So she's, doing those things. At some point she goes and runs away with Lucian, and she is traveling all the way back to Night Court and everything. But at some point they get into trouble with Lucian's brothers, and they go, and then she can finally semi-connect with I'm pretty sure, okay, if I remember correctly, she connects or mind reads or something to Rhys, because she finally has her powers back. But so Cassian and Azriel come back and everything to help her save her from Lucian's brothers and everything. But she tells them, then she remembers her authority and everything, and she tells them, no, don't attack. Oh no, I'm running low on battery. Okay. She tells them not to attack and everything. So they go back to the Night Court, and she finally sees Rhys. It's just so beautiful, because I even have it tabbed, which I love, because I love this book series so much, which I'll give you my rate and everything, which if you haven't watched I have a TikTok of that, of my rating and everything, is just a lot more shorter. This part, which made me fall in love with this book, because you can see how deep and how beautiful Rhys's and Farah's relationship is. So I think it's Lucian Lucian is talking, and he said, and you're the High Lady of the Night Court. Indeed she is. My blood stopped at the sound. This is Lucian talking. His throat bobbed. And you are the Night Lady. You're the High Lady, not Night Lady. You're the High Lady of the Night Court. Indeed she is. My blood stopped at the voice that drawled from behind me. That scent that hit me awakened me. My friend began smiling. I turned. Rhysand leans against the archway into the sitting room, arms crossed, his wings nowhere to be seen, dressed in a casual, immaculate black suit, black jacket and pants, and everything. And she starts crying and everything, and he holds her gently and everything, and neither did Azriel, as he murmured, my love, and kisses me. And you can see how deep their love is for each other, especially all the conflict, and they talk through it, and they find a plan and everything, and it's just so beautiful. The third book, I love the third book. I have a tie with Mist and Fury and Wings and Ruin. I have such a deep tie with those, but and at the when during all the war, and so basically without the book, they're trying to figure out a plot and war, and there's so much stuff going on and everything, so they're trying to plan out everything. That's why I said Rhys and Farah's relationship, you can see how they talk through it and plan through it, and regardless of everything, they always make sure that they put each other first in a way. And then once you feel such a deep connection with other characters, at the end there's so much stuff going on, so you're bawling your eyes out because you don't want it to end, because you have deep connection and everything. They're going through war and you're bawling your eyes out because you don't want anything to happen. That's why you feel such a deep connection with them and everything. So this is amazing. So then at the end everything's fine, and then you get the novella, which is A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is a cute little it's like 200 pages. 229 pages. Such a good little book, so cute. It's like Christmas time, it's her birthday as well. You get to see them getting presents. It's just such a cute book because you don't see them when they're trying to go through conflict and battle and everything. So seeing them is so beautiful. And then at the end, you also get to see beginning of Nesta's story and everything. And it's just a cute book. It honestly made me laugh and smile because you get Cassian, who was so funny, and Morgan, who was such her silly little self. And yeah, you could see the love they have for each other and the beautiful family Farrah has grown and everything. And then we have Silver Flame, and my gosh, I went into this book knowing I was going to relate so much with Nesta and everything. And also too, at this point, I already knew so much about Nesta and how the next book is going to be, and so much conflict with this book. And I just knew I was going to connect with Nesta so much. I never thought a book could heal me besides the Bible. I never thought I would connect with someone and made me realize my purpose of why I'm healing and everything. So basically, real quick, I have been through a lot of things that no little girl or no woman should go through. And as someone who is the eldest daughter, I'm the eldest daughter of firstborn son, the eldest daughter of her firstborn daughter, the first granddaughter, granddaughter, first niece, first in everything. So when you carry on so much on your shoulders, especially when you have a Hispanic family, I feel like having a foreign family, especially as the eldest daughter, it can play a big effect on you and your responsibilities as well. And at a young age, I've been through things that no little girl should go through. And then you have to build yourself more and more and more and become a better woman. So Silver Flame is Nesta. She goes through all the things. She's trying to deal with her her trauma and her past, and she's having a hard time with everything. And she doesn't even want to be in her own body, let alone be in a fairy's body. I need to get a charger. I'll be right back. I was recording. I thought I was recording. Oh my gosh, I was spilling the best stuff ever and I didn't hit record. Oh my gosh, okay. So, retrack. I was spilling the good things and I'm going to say it again. So I read Nesta, which I understand deeply why there's so much conflict in this book. But I want to ask you something, okay? As someone who is the eldest daughter who was the daughter of the firstborn son, the daughter of the firstborn daughter, the first granddaughter, first niece, first everything, okay? I know I'm the eldest daughter, okay? Nesta is the eldest daughter, okay? Obviously, we don't know how deep her first is and everything. But as someone who has been through a lot at a young age, who has experienced traumatic things at a really young age, and know things that a young woman or any woman in general should go through, and as someone who connects so deeply with Nesta, as Nesta grew up, constant reminder that she is a burden, constant reminder that she is not like her other sisters, how her other sisters are better than her. As someone who grew up, a constant reminder that I need to be good. As someone who grew up in a Mexican Hispanic household, you have a constant reminder that you need to be a good wife, you need to be well educated, well mannered, you need to be beautiful, know how to cook and clean. Also too, you shouldn't waste your education. You need to travel the world. You need to do this, you need to do that. What is trauma? What is this? What is depression? Like, what's anxiety? Like, what is that? What do you mean you have panic attacks? As someone who grew up like that, is now also too, my parents have grown so much. So you honestly too, you can't be mad at someone who when your parents have grown up not in the Baus household at all. My parents did not grow up in the Baus household, and they have grown so much, which I love so much, that my parents have grown so much in their marriage and parenthood and everything. But at a young age, And also too, as any firstborn child, you understand, like, I feel like it's a joke that, like, you just breathe on and you get hit. Like, it's just a joke, by the way. But as you know, and so how can you ask someone for help? How can you ask someone to ask help when all their life they've been a constant reminder that they are a burden? How can you ask someone that all their life that you've made mistakes, that you have done this, you need to be a better person, you need to achieve this, you need to achieve that? How can you ask someone for help when all their life they've been a constant reminder that they are a burden to everyone around them? Everyone around them. How can you ask someone for that? So how can you be mad at Nesta when she always pushed her responsibility, always pushed her problems, always pushed people's kindness away, and drowned her pain and sorrow in drinking and sleeping around and all those things? How can you ask her to be like, how can you be like that when, especially when you've never gone through those things? But anywho, I feel such a big connection with Nesta. But anywho, throughout the book, we see Nesta training, you know, her just growing and healing so much. Nesta's training. She is going to the library and doing like community service in a way you can say. She's going to the library, organizing books, helping the library. I forgot what they're called. Priestess in the library, helping them. She grows. She gets two best friends who see her pain and faults and everything, and also her two friends, Gwen and Maria. You can see that they also too have a really bad childhood. They've both been abused, abandoned, with constant reminder of their faults and everything. And they grow, and they see each other's faults, they see each other's damage and the things they do bad, but yet they still heal each other. Obviously, Gwen and Maria are more healed in a way. But too, I kind of wonder. This kind of makes me wonder too. But anywho, you can see, but they still love Nessa and still love each other so deeply, and their friendship is so beautiful. As someone who has been blessed with my Gwen and my Maria, I feel so blessed, and that's why I have such a deep connection, because I only have two best friends, and they have helped me grow so much. Yes, I was growing, but they helped me grow even more. So I was growing, but I was not here yet. So I was here, and they helped me get up here and everything. And I feel so blessed to have my friends and everything. But anywho, you see Gwen, she builds friendships. She's growing closer to Cassian and all the things. It's just such... I have notes, and I want to say them because they are so... I feel like I wrote them so beautifully and so raw. Okay, Silver Flame is just a healing book, especially someone who has been through traumatic things at a really young age, from someone felt protected and safe, from someone who never felt protected and safe. From someone felt protected and safe when I pushed people away, especially when I shown people my kindness and they used them. Nessa is an amazing example from healing mentally and physically. When she started working on herself, then got two friends like me, Gwen and Maria, friends who see her fault and still care and love for her. When the others didn't, Nesta is a character of fault, but a vision of those who have gone through bad things and could never tell others their feelings without feeling harmed in their vulnerability. Silver Flame forever healed me. And then, okay, her and Cassian's relationship, I don't have my Cassian, but like, my Cassian is my brother. Cassian, like, my brother, he doesn't know this, but my brother has healed me a lot. He is so much like Cassian. He is so funny and so sarcastic, but he is very like gentle and loving, and he cares deeply. He doesn't show it, but he cares so deeply. And then seeing Nesta, you see how she handles it and is a constant reminder of why I started all this, why I am healing in a way, why I push myself to be a better version of myself, because of that's why, because my younger me, my little girl in me needs to be protected, and I'm the only one to protect her. So that's why I'm building myself up in that way. And Cassian is so patient with her and loves her in ways that every girl like Nesta should be loved. And she's so beautifully well written, and their relationship is so beautifully well written. And I am so happy that Nesta got Cassian as her mate, because she needs healing. She needs that funny sarcasm, and she needs that deep devotion. And yes, Cassian never said I loved you, but Cassian, in a Rings in Ruin, he crawled to her when his wings were broken. He told her that, like, I wish, like, at the end, because it was getting bad, he told her, like, in another life, I wish I got to know you more. And he, always listened to her and learned that. Also, too, he got her a gift because she loved music so much, and she couldn't listen to music because it was down in the village, whole city and everything, so she couldn't listen to music, and she loved music so much. So he got her a ball type thing, but it held such beautiful music in it, and he learned to dance for Nesta because she danced at a really young age, and he never forgot how strong he was. He never doubted her strength and everything, and he let Nesta use him. She let, so Silver Flame is such a healing book for me, and that's why I love the ACOTAR series so much, because it's so beautiful. It makes your imagination go, crazy, and it kind of helps you go back into reading, especially if you're reading in a reading club. Like, the ACOTAR series is beautiful, especially if you haven't read it yet. And ACOTAR series is definitely by far the top tier book series for me. But now we are going to go through my ranking for each one. So definitely, for sure, the novella, it's a 4.5 star. She's cute. She's, it's so cute seeing them, like I said before, not so like they're just having their time. So it's such a cute book and everything. 4.5 stars for me, for sure. And then we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. The beginning, world building, so many things, so beautiful. I love her. 4.5 stars, because we're getting to see all the characters in a way. And then, okay, Mist and Fury and Wings and Ruin are tie for me. I love these so much. 5-star book, so beautiful. I love them so much. And then, of course, we have Silver Flame. This is a 6-star book for me. I love these so much. I love this book series so much. If you have thoughts and opinions or theories or book recommendations, please let me know, because I love to hear them. And also, too, if you just want to introduce yourself or tell me the current book you're reading, please let me know. I love to connect with you guys more. And I hope you have a great day, evening, night, I don't care what it is. Just have a great day and be blessed. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.